blocked him a long time. He's been a piece of shit to me from day one, and people like the guy. I was nothing but nice and respectful to him, and I know Alex Riley just came out and did
that just came out today.
When people hear what really happened with that, they're gonna lose their shit. Like, and I know I have a pretty good idea what happened with that and the guys in WWE, and it's fucking hilarious, and like it's hilarious because what.
So that first off, that people, when they find out what happened there with Alex Riley and John Cena, that they're gonna lose their shit. So what I get from this is, unless this is just Ryback, really exaggerating here, is that there's something really outrageous and shocking that happened. Ryback was saying in his tweet also, I forgot to mention this, he was saying something about, Triple H should be concerned about his own NDAs, and that Alex Riley deserves justice as well. That's what he said when it comes to the stuff with John Cena. So I feel that there's something there. There's something out there that we haven't been told about this whole situation. And I just wonder, will it ever come to light what really happened there with Riley and Cena?
People will find out about John and then whatever, but it's just he's done. So he used to shit talk me when I was in the ring. I remember working against Mark Henry. You got to remember, I came up with all these guys in developmental, so I know everyone that's sitting backstage.
Who would shit talk, Alex or John?
No, John. No,
okay.
John. I used to be back there for John when Riley was in the ring, when they were fucking with him because John was hot at him.
Yeah.
What happened with all this, and it's not my place to discuss that.
No, let him take that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But John would sit back there and bury Riley in front of everybody for no reason. And Alex Riley is fucking money. He was money from day one.
It's mind-blowing. You got a guy with the right look, the right attitude. I know he wasn't...
Bust his ass. He had awesome theme music, worked his ass off, went out there and got a reaction from the people.
Yep.
Because of John Cena and people, I swear to fucking God, because of John Cena, his career is over in the WWE for no fucking reason.
Yeah, one thing with Riley, Riley had the it factor, Alex Riley, started out, he was doing that NXT show, that silly show. So he was like the whole thing about The Miz, his apprentice, that was the whole thing. And, I thought he did a good job there with The Miz. And then eventually, Alex Riley, Miz fired Riley and then kind of shoved him away, and then Riley then started just beating the hell out of him, really beat the shit out of him. And I thought it was like a good segment because initially they were kind of like cheating Miz, and then they went from cheating the Miz to chanting Riley. And I thought that was the star was made at that point, but WWE just didn't know. I guess they just didn't know how to capitalize on it. But Riley had the it factor. He had a great look, could cut a promo. Just he'd be a good guy, a good representation of your company. Not that John Cena isn't, but Riley would have been able to fit into that spot perfectly. Seems like a guy again, good good demeanor about him. And you notice it's all this stuff about people that John Cena had an issue with. They all seem to be like good guys, like laid back, sound guys. It was like, I don't know. You had guys. It was like the Tyler Rex. You had, was it Michael Tarver? You had the guy Kenny from the Spirit Squad. All guys that had potential, but for whatever reason, Cena was he was a dick to them. But
outside of because of John and his personal issues.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Now, and you said it too. I think this goes hand in hand because the dirt sheets picked this up. About a conversation that you had with Hunter, basically saying that they don't plan on having any marquee names. And I think a lot of that comes from. Not that I'm a big fan of the way, I really like SmackDown. I think it's a really great show. Raw, I really legit can't watch anymore. But the fact that there really is no full-time superstars or marquee names, and they got to rely on these, quote, part-time guys to come back and fill the void and give them all the top spots on pay-per-views and major shows. But do you think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Cena just had so much fucking control and power that it ultimately affected business for so long?
Yeah, he's been poison to the wrestling industry, and I told you this. We've talked about this before, and again, this is my opinion, but you know what? I think I'm pretty accurate on this. I think he did so much harm for so long to new talent breaking out up there, and I have my experiences, and other talents up there have their experiences, that I think Hunter had to finally say, what the fuck do I need to do? And I think he just started, with the NXT thing and bringing up these NXT guys and protecting the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
And there's so many guys now. John can't just fucking pick his battle with one guy because there's 9 other guys hot on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's been surpassed now. And so, and if that
Interesting
is what
take.
Hunter is brilliant, if that's what he did to do that to fucking get rid of the Cena problem, because
Yeah, that's an interesting take there. So what he's saying is that I think, back in 2010, you had the Nexus, but then some would say that, Cena was responsible for holding them down. He could have put them over at SummerSlam in the big, was it 5-on-5 elimination match? He didn't. Ryback was part of that group at the time. He was known as Skip Sheffield, though. But also you had the Shield. They came in. Three guys that all became big stars, big main event stars. Roman Reigns, you could say, became the new John Cena. So I suppose if he's maybe referring to the Shield, those are 3 guys that came up all at the same time in a group, and then Cena put them over. He did. I think he put them over like a 6-man tag once, but he still put them over. He wasn't able to squash them and have them under his thumb. So that's some interesting points of what Ryback's saying. But it's true. Riley had it, and Cena. Let's just face it. Cena saw him as a threat. I think when it comes to like people will say, oh well, Cena put over Kevin Owens, Cena put over AJ Styles, but those are people that aren't threats. You know what I mean? He knows that Kevin Owens and AJ Styles are over a certain demographic. I'm talking about the nerdy teenage young men, the internet smart fans. That's who they're over with. But Riley would have got over with the same crowd that Cena got over with. The young casual fans, the kids, the women. That's who Riley would have got over with. So Cena he had no problem putting over Kevin Owens and Kevin Owens kicking out of a top rope AA and AJ Styles kicking out of 3 or 4 AAs. I can't remember, but that they weren't threats. But Alex Riley was a threat. That's how I see it anyway. But also there's other stuff out there about the whole thing. What happened there at Cena and Riley? Is there something going on there that was an NDA signed? Is that why Alex Riley, he's always said that, I don't want to talk about it at this time, another time. He's said stuff like that in the past. But I just don't feel, he has referred to it and talked about it a bit in interviews before, but I still feel there's something else we're not being told there about what really, really happened there. But with this, there's maybe a couple of theories out there. From looking at some stuff, and okay, Reddit's maybe not the most reliable source. Okay, I get that, but there was a Reddit thread going back 4 years ago, and someone here, and I don't know if they're really an insider or what, but this is what they said. They said Cena saw a lot in Riley, so wanted to get to know him better. Riley was invited to Cena's bus during a loop to have some beers and use the drive to hang out. Riley declined because he doesn't drink. Cena took offense to that because he felt as if he offers his bus and drinks to someone, they need to take him up on it. Riley meant no disrespect, but the damage was done. But this also person claims that from a superstar during that time that he was friends with, Swagger's push, the original one, was axed by Cena because Swagger fell asleep backstage at a live event, and Cena felt someone in Swagger's position needed to be awake, alert, and watching every match to learn. And let's be honest, in that case, has Cena got a point there? I would say so, yes. But the whole stuff Alex Riley, I don't think that's entirely true, because what I heard was that it was actually Cena pressuring Riley into going on his tour bus and pressuring him into having a copious amount of alcohol. That's what I heard. And this whole thing about Riley not drinking, well, then it was around late 2010. I remember I think it was just days after Miz beat Orton for the title in Raw. So Riley was out there. He was out there ringside. Riley got arrested, and it was a DUI. So to go from a guy who supposedly doesn't drink alcohol to having a DUI, that's quite a big leap, don't you think? So I don't know if this supposedly whole thing about Cena inviting Riley on his bus happened after the DUI, You know, maybe. And maybe Cena took advantage of somebody that was an vulnerable guy that was maybe having had alcohol issues before. I don't know.